So instead, we're going to use the cycle. Cycle has 365 to-do lists per year. Sounds like a lot, but we have a lot of days every year. It's not going to rely on our brain. It's going to be the one place that we keep everything. It's going to prevent the list of doom-like problems. And we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. These techniques can be done on Notepad just as well as it can be done on paper or a nice fancy PDA. I have nothing against the Getting Things Done book or these other techniques, but if you're required to keep 37 folders of information, I think that's a little too complicated. Sysadmins have enough complexity in their life. Let's try to keep things really simple. So let's go through a day or two of maintaining to-do lists using the cycle. Let's say we begin on Monday, April 14th, and we come in the morning, and we have 5 tasks that we have to do. Now, we haven't assessed the day. We'll talk about types of day soon, but let's assume this is a no-meeting day. So, amazingly enough, when I come in the morning, my tasks are even in alphabetical order. That's how nice and neat it works. So I do one task, and when I'm done, I cross it out. And I do another task, and when I'm done, I cross it out. And I do another task, and I cross it out. Now, sometimes if I do this in VI, I recommend instead you can't cross things out in VI, so you might just write done. Some people like to write done at the first column or the last column. And it gets to be the end of the day. And with my old techniques, I'd feel guilty for going home. But in the cycle, we're going to be guilt-free. It's the end of the day. We just move those remaining items to tomorrow's list. No problem. We'll talk about techniques for deciding, giving ourselves permission to do this. But basically, we're going to move things to the next day. Oh, actually, let's do that now. So what do? I have what I call the 4 p.m. check. At 4 p.m., my PDA beeps, and I look at my to-do list, and I say, well, these last 2 tasks, can I move them to the next day, or do I need to rush to get them done, or do I decide I'm going to stay late? And in this case, we're just going to move them to the next day. But we'll talk about these other techniques later. Now, when new items come in, say your boss asks you to do something, in the past, we let other people drive our schedule. But in the cycle, we're going to drive our schedule. So someone asks if we can do task F, and we say, sure, and we put it on our list. Or we think about it a bit, and we say, well, that's a low priority task, and I'm busy today. I'm going to put that on tomorrow's list. And so we take it off. We don't write it on Tuesday's list. We put it on Wednesday's list. So now we're scheduling our work instead of being run ragged by other people's schedules. And that also means we're negotiating with our customers instead of doing exactly what they say. So someone says, I need you to do this, and say, oh, great, I'll have time for that Wednesday, and we write it down. Now they might say, oh, no, I guess I haven't expressed how urgent this is. I really need this done today. You say, oh, okay, I will put it on today's list. But we're negotiating that, and our task assignment becomes a dialogue instead of just doing what they tell us to do. In fact, we might schedule something all the way out to Thursday. Or since we have 365, we could schedule it a month later. This is also good when someone comes by and says, hey, next 3 weeks from now, I need you to do blah, 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 on a certain day. We can schedule things for that certain day by just putting it down or making today's list in VI. I already talked about the 4 p.m. check. And I want to encourage, your thought process should be in this order. It's 4 p.m. We have a couple tasks left. If it's not due today, we can just easily push off to the next day. But if it was due today, if we made a commitment that it would be done today and it isn't done yet, we can call the person and negotiate an extension. Usually I've found I get a couple of responses. Either the person says, yes, or yes, you can delay it. Like someone will say, oh, we didn't really need it at the end of today. We really needed it by noon tomorrow. So if you do it the first thing in the morning, we're cool. Great. Now I don't have to work late. Or they say, oh, no, we really need this today. We're going to need it first thing in the morning. So I decide to work late. But now I've decided to work late through negotiation, not because not out of guilt. Option 2, you could pawn it off to a coworker. Maybe they owe you a favor. And as I said, option 3, work late. But the important thing here is that working late is your last resort instead of your first reaction. And that's a hard habit to get into. If your current mindset is, oh, I'll have to work late, using this technique can, it's a difficult habit to get into, but you want to change your ways. You want to start thinking about having an initial reaction of, can I negotiate this? Or find a coworker to do it, or only work late as a last resort.